People think walking is exercise.
Walking is not an exercise.
Walking is not an
Let's
exercise.
let's debate that. Walking is not an
There's
exercise.
no debate. Walking is not an exercise.
Not an exercise.
How do you want to define consistency? That what do you
They show up most often.
They show up most often.
Yeah.
So tier 2 shows up most often.
More than tier 1.
Yeah. So
Okay.
cities like Agra, Jaipur, Lucknow.
Lucknow, are you serious? Hyderabad is ahead of Bangalore.
In terms of how, so they'll work out 11, 12 times a month.
Month.
Bangalore is definitely top for yoga.
So Akshay, welcome to Bangalore. You just flew in a few hours ago, and welcome to Healthcare India podcast.
Oh, thank you.
How does it feel to be in the Garden City?
Well, it's great. Like, thank you for having me. And I think the flight got delayed, but otherwise the city is great. Like I've never seen so many purple flowers in the sky, and every time I come here.
Yeah, that's the hallmark of the spring in Bangalore.
Yes.
So we have all these purple and pink flowers.
Yeah.
So it must be a good feeling, right?
It's a great feeling.
Yeah,
But
excellent.
I think you can make some wider roads.
All right. So Akshay is the CEO and founder of Fitpass. Very interesting concept. And if I'm not mistaken, I was watching some of your older stuff. It came out because you were frustrated with the infrastructure. And you wanted to work out, and there was these obstacles.
Yeah.
And,
So I think yeah, it was multiple reasons. The biggest reason was that this seemed like one industry where customer was not king. Right? The supply side had enormous power. They wanted
Right.
you to pay for the whole year upfront and hoped you don't come.
right.
Right? So this was fundamentally broken, and at that time, like the way my thinking was, that, I go for a haircut every 3 weeks. I've been going to the same hairdresser for 15, 20 years.
right.
He has never told me that please pay for the whole year, take a discount.
Right.
Right? Nothing in our consumption basket actually wants us to pay upfront
Right.
and then not use it, except the gym industry.
The gym industry. Correct.
And unfortunately, in India, we're not at a stage where gyms are truly full stack. What that means is that gyms might be great, good equipment, great for strength, great for cardio, but not necessarily great for CrossFit, not necessarily great for functional training, not necessarily great for Zumba or Pilates.
Right.
So if I have to mix my workouts, which everybody has to, because I can't only do strength every day.
Right.
So then I need another membership. And if I want to go swim or play, then that's another membership. So that's 3-4 memberships, and each membership, no matter what you do, is 25,000-30,000 a year. That's 1 lakh rupees a year only for memberships. So
Which you may or may not use.
or you won't use fully, no
Right.
matter what, how much ever consistency you bring into your life, you're not going to use 100% of what you've paid for. So that fundamentally is a broken ecosystem.
Which is because in a way you've flipped the equation, right? In a way, with Fitpass, the way I've understood it, and you can correct me if my understanding is wrong. Now you can choose what you want to do. You take the one access,
Yes.
and it's now up to me. Today I wake up and I don't feel like working out, but I feel like doing yoga. I can do that, or I can do Zumba and things like that.
So I don't think we've flipped it. I think we've normalized it that
Okay.
in economics, demand and supply have to match. That's equilibrium.
Right.
So this side, the customers had no say. Right? Customers had no choice. They had
Correct.
no flexibility.
Correct.
So we brought power to the customers. We said, okay, this is one membership and an unlimited access to 12,000 gyms and fitness centers, no matter where you want to go and get fit, however you want to. So whether it is gym, yoga, Pilates, Zumba, Krav Maga, CrossFit, mixed martial arts, rock climbing, swimming, play, badminton, whatever, close to home, close to office, because even close to home, close to office, there are multiple centers that you have.
Right.
So all of that is how we started. Today, that same membership gives you access to all of these fitness centers, AI coaching at home, so you don't really need a physical trainer, global content, nutritionist support, because we firmly believe exercise and nutrition go hand in hand.
Correct.
And in case you fall ill, there's unlimited doctor consults, health checkup vouchers, medicine vouchers. So everything you need is in one place. So your data is together, your intelligence is together, your records are together, and you're on a journey. So now, no matter how you are on your journey, whether it's you're loving it, you're hating it, it's peak time, it's trough time, all of it is, everything you need is in one place.
Understood. So, see, we are essentially a healthcare B2B podcast. So most of our, and that's what my interest in this topic, most of our audience is executives between say 30 to 55, mostly corporate guys, mostly urban, mostly men. I don't know why. I'm still trying to understand that. So one of the interesting things that you've done, which really helped me understand a lot of my decision making as an executive, was you brought out a report, and that became a fascinating read.
Thank you.
And I want to give you credit because I think a lot of people use it. We see it around us. We see these wellness programs, corporate programs. I am an healthcare auditor or an independent auditor for one of the healthcare wellness assessment schemes that we go around corporates and we ask them about their programs, and we have these questionnaire and we grill them and then we rate them. And I was really amazed that almost everybody seemed to be very gung-ho on the corporate wellness thing. But then I read your report, and it opened my eyes to a few things, and I want to discuss some of them, right?
Yes, please.
The first thing was, is there a overall a challenge you think with the Indian mindset when it comes to working out? I'm going to refrain from the using fitness and all because fitness is a very arbitrary term, but when it comes to workout, when we go abroad, we are used to seeing people working out in their lunch breaks. We are used to seeing, and we come back and give those anecdotal stories. In Singapore, I've seen people running at night. But in India, is there a mindset issue, especially with the corporate crowd, because that's where I've worked, and I just want to get a sense from you.
So this is a very layered question. Is there a mindset issue? Okay, first of all, thank you for reading the report, and I'm so glad it helped you because it took us a long time to publish that and gather all the information that we did. Is there a mindset issue? No, I don't think it's a mindset issue.
Okay.
I think it is the infrastructure exists. It's a participation issue.
Okay.
So if you ask somebody, do you want to be unfit? They will say no.
Yeah.
Would you like to work out? They'll say yes.
Right.
Now there are obstacles to that.
All right.
That needed to be broken.
Right.
Which we have seen over the last 11 years that as we have broken each one of those, people have participated more and stayed consistent more. I'll give you an example. In the corporate world, it's very tough to decide. So we're a very hardworking nation, right? We work Mondays to Saturdays.
Right.
So the first question is, where do I choose a gym? Close to home or close to office? So that decision in itself creates so much inertia that you don't know where to decide whether you'll carry your clothes every day to work, where you'll shower, where you'll go. If you do Saturdays at work, then is Sundays enough to take a gym at home or close to home? So those decisions. We also work very hard. We're not an 8-hour country.
Correct.
Right? So we work harder. And people have long travel times.
Correct.
So there are many obstacles that you have to solve for. What we've seen today is that the mindset issue has largely been resolved. Gen Z doesn't need to be explained that fitness and exercise is important because this was told to us in class 4, right? That health, what does health mean? Like physical and mental well-being. So exercise and balanced diet. Everybody knows this.
Correct.
I think after economic liberalization in 91, that generation really had to pull families up from where they were to a different stature.
Right.
So I think the focus became amassing wealth or creating financial security, etc.
Right.
But today, after these many years where India is at, I think people understand that health is very important. Once you lose your body, it's very tough to get it back. You can have multiple cars, but you only have one body. All of this narrative is there now. So mindset is not the issue. In the corporate world, I think there is still these traditional corporates where FaceTime is a big thing. So if people feel that, so when I used to work in London, stepping out to work out during your lunch, people respected that. I'm not sure if leaders today will respect that. So if I flip the question and ask leaders, will you be happy if your younger people or anybody stepped out for an hour to work out and come back?
Right.
And I think majority will say no. So I think the problem is in the older leaders, the 50.
So the mindset issue is with the older
leaders. And for the junior guys, it's not the mindset issue. It's a infrastructure participation issue where access isn't there. So if you solve for access, participation comes. People think it's an infra problem as in you need more supply or you need more gyms. You don't need more gyms. What you need is to bring people into the ones that already exist and are running at low utilizations.
But I'll give you an example, right? This is that's why I feel sometimes it's a mindset issue, right? I was in Goa recently. We were there for a conference, and I went there and we checked in, and there was a little bit of a mess during the check-in. But immediately after checking in, went to my room. I got my swimwear down. I hit the pool, and I didn't notice it then. But when I came out, all around me were other participants of the conference who had checked in, had come down, and were loitering about the whole place. And then one of them later told me in the evening, "I really appreciate. I saw you swimming. I think you're doing great." I said,
Why didn't you?
Why didn't you?" He had some reasons,
Sure.
and etc. etc. I personally feel, when I meet people, they say, "Oh, let's go out and have dinner, or let's have lunch." Not one guy has asked me, "Can we go and do some activity?" But Gen Z is different, because I hear that. But I sometimes feel in India, and this is my personal belief, I don't have a way to describe it. I think we are still living in our mind, we are living in a society, in a concept of scarcity that we don't have.
There's definitely scarcity
While
minds.
what you're telling me, if you're telling me 12,000 gyms across 75
150 cities.
150 cities, sorry, and then so many things. I mean, the minute you started running out some of the names, I said, "Oh, I've never tried rock climbing." Right? I don't know how it'll feel,
Yeah.
but do you think it's, we have so much? Look around you. This is Bangalore. Weather's like perfect throughout the year.
Yes.
We should be like playing tennis every day. We should have more than the 9 golf courses we have. But I'm just thinking, is that part of the problem? It's the way we've been brought up.
No, definitely. I think the way we've been brought up, the way our narrative around food is, narrative around resistance training is, people thought that, okay, if you did resistance training when you were younger, you wouldn't pull height, or you would. So there was a lot of myth and misconception, but slowly they are getting busted. Pregnant women not be doing resistance training, or to not be doing exercise. We had a belief system in the middle that was contrary to what traditional India believed. Right? Traditional India, historic India did yoga, they practiced everything, they walked, they worked, all of that was there.
Correct.
So it was only this slightly post-independent, abundant India, like after their some sort of settling. That part of India is where I think things got missed. And now, post-COVID, our minds have gotten realigned to prioritizing health. Should there be more people participating in activity? I think participation numbers have increased dramatically over the last 5 years. What it was in 2019 is not what you see in 2026.
Okay.
Across spectrums of, no matter how you cut the population demographic, male, female, early Gen Z, late Gen Z, millennials, parents, non-parents, geriatrics, retired, everybody's participating.
Right.
And everybody is talking about it, right? Even your dadi and nani has suddenly started talking about it. About physical exercise.
Right.
Not just about what you put into your body as food, but the importance of physical exercise. Some narratives like walking is exercise is a problem. People think walking is exercise.
Walking is not an exercise.
Walking is not an exercise.
Let's debate that. Walking is not an exercise.
There's no debate. Walking is not an exercise.
Not an exercise.
Not
right?
an exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because unless it's making you stronger, some muscle has to work. That is basic maintenance. It is not making you stronger or fitter or better. Neither your heart is working nor your muscle groups are working. Walking may help you in reducing glucose spikes after food. Yes. So there are some good to it, but that is in no means a replacement for physical exertion and exercise. Exactly. You have to become stronger.
On a lighter note, my mom used to hate walking, and she used to always say that I see these ladies walking in our colony way back, and say कि रोड घिस जाती है पर इनको कुछ नहीं होता है.
हाँ. Because I think वो भी है that टहलना and walk are two different things.
Different things, yeah. You got to do power walking.
Yeah, either you do brisk walking or at least get to zone 1, zone 2 cardio level, which means that at least you're able to speak and talk, but it's still a bit of exertion.
Right.
If you're just strolling, then that's, if taking a dog for a walk, that's not a walk. It's टहलना है.
Correct. So really, really very interesting. The other debate I want you to, because you've got so much data, is sports
Hmm.
and exercise. I have this confusion and I have a point of view on it. I always have a feeling exercise is something you do to strengthen various body parts, whatever you do, so that you can play a sport.
Hmm.
But treating sport only as a workout is a very bad idea because you can get injured.
Yes.
Am I right? Is that your data prove that?
Well, not only that, but I have had 2 ACL surgeries.
Okay.
I used to play football for Delhi when I was 20. I'd had a surgery then, and that time I was fit. I was exercising. Right? I played for state. Yet I had a surgery. And then rehabilitation requires strength and conditioning. You lose all your muscle mass. Quadricep is your biggest muscle.
Right.
You lose that. You lose your calves. Now your hamstring gets cut and you get a new ligament. So your body has to adapt to this new piece of meat
Correct.
as a ligament. So you have to condition it to behave like it.
Correct.
So, and then now last January, I had a surgery again because that ligament, that graft tore.
Yeah. Okay. You have to rechange the graph.
So I had a new graft. So I have personally lived this where unless you are strong, there are lots of injuries that can happen. Sport, I think, is very close to our hearts in
Yeah,
India.
it's
Right? And that happiness of play is something that everybody wants. And I think that is probably, for me personally, one of the biggest drivers of why I work out is because I have a son who's 3.5. I want to play with him.
Right.
Not just now, but 15 years from now, when he's 18, or let us say even he's younger, 16, when he's coming in his prime and he wants to race me or he wants to play tennis with me, I can't be like, नहीं अंकल के साथ खेल लो पापा बूढ़ा हो गया ये तो I can't say no. I can't. I also want to have the joy of playing with him and seeing him win or seeing him do better.
Right.
And he must also have the joy of a fit father.
Right.
I can't be somebody sitting on the sidelines only cheering him on without having anything to contribute on the field. So I think, so yes, sport is not exercise. Sport is a fantastic way of being functional, of lots of movements that maybe you don't do in a gym. So lots of smaller muscle groups will get activated, will work. But the stronger you are, the less pressure you put on them. And this you can see in all our athletes, right?
Correct.
You saw our cricketers maybe when we were growing up,
Yeah.
and you see them now. You saw our footballers then, you see them now.
Yeah.
Suddenly, India is doing very well in track and field also.
Correct.
What has changed? Exercise, nutrition, regimens. People, athletes with big injuries are coming back faster on the field. Why? Because of the amount of effort they put in off the field.
Correct.
So I'll give you an example. NBA, which is one of the richest sports. All NBA stars, so for injuries like ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, and PCL, posterior cruciate ligament, they go through what is called prehab. So that they
Before the
don't get
surgery.
injured. No, not before. So that they'll never get injured. In case they get injured, their muscle groups are so strong that when atrophy happens, their bounce back is faster.
Oh.
So now that is where sport and exercise combines, where you see NFL players or you see any big sport in the
EPL.
EPL or any Olympics, anything that you see, even if you see our shooters, people think shooters are not fit, but the amount of exercise they do for that balance,
Right.
if people want, they can try holding themselves up for a minute still, or close their eyes and do it. It's
very difficult.
Very, very tough.
Yeah.
So without exercise, I don't think excellence in sport happens. If you want to play for fun, it is different. But if you are pursuing excellence, then there is no other way but to be strong.
Oh, that's great. So this is to all my friends. All of you are listening to me. Those of you guys who go out and play badminton 5 days a week and never go to the gym or don't stretch, you heard it from him. He's got data of so many people and we're going to get into the data. But guys, this settles the debate. Okay, sport is not exercise. Exercise is something you do to play a sport, right?
Yeah, to do better. And I think maybe your friends are young.
No,
I mean, by the time you hit our age of 40, it's like you need to roll.
They're the same
You
age
need to
as me.
stretch. There is no way you can't.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys, and I made this mistake a few days ago. So I was a bit arrogant about pickleball because I'm a tennis player. So I said, okay, this is some kind of ping pong. So I just I came to the pickleball court. I saw it for a while. Then I picked up the racket, and I just come back from a golf range. Right, I was on way back from my range, and my friend was playing. They were short, a player. He said, "Can you play?" I said, "Yeah, it's piece of cake." And I started playing just like that. I reached home, and I said, "Oh man, that was a big mistake." Because I saw guys warming up, and I said, what are they warming up for pickleball for?
Yeah.
It is like a, but later I realized my mistake that you're supposed to warm up before sport, and pickleball is a sport.
Yeah, and I think this love for sport may be one more trigger that drives India, because as we're getting older, right? Today we're very young as a
Right.
nation.
Yeah, yeah.
As you're getting older, you'd want to play more. People will realize that exercise is a very important part for you to pursue everything that you love, not just sport, but for being there for your family, for doing functional things, for doing basic things. Everything after an age, your muscle starts to degrade.
Right.
That is just science. So you have to either stop it from degradation, or you have to make it stronger so that the quality of your life as you age is also better. Right? Today there is so much science which is established about longevity and exercise,
Right.
cognitive functioning and exercise, mental health and physical exercise. So when as we get more aware, I think that is where India will go. That is what you see in the West actually, because people, healthcare in India is affordable, so people think it is acceptable कि 50 पे मुझे blood pressure की दवाई खानी है.
Correct.
ठीक है? बाहर it is not acceptable.
Right.
So people chose that instead of giving money to medicines and to healthcare, they'll take care of themselves. Obviously, you feel better also. There is just no denying that once you start working out, you feel there are so many things you feel about yourself. Your body feels better. Your brain fog is lifted. You just feel stronger, better, like a human being.
Correct.
That is what you're supposed to be, like an apex, right? You're top of food chain. There are so many things that you can do and achieve. You rule the world, right? So you behave like that.
Correct.
But when you don't, then there is degradation in your social life, everything. And I was reading a report about there is direct correlation between the strength of your quadriceps and your longevity.
Yeah. I read that too. I think it came out. Was it Huberman or was it?
Huberman spoke about it.
Right.
Dr. Huberman spoke about it. But the point was that because you're a social being, if the biggest muscle group doesn't work, you don't meet people. If you don't meet people, you start getting weak. Cognitively, you decline, and then you leave. So for everything, quality of life, you need your muscles to work.
You need your
and you
muscles
see
to
in
work.
old people, right? They femur fractures, hip fractures,
Hip fractures, which is a death knell actually.
right?
Once you have a hip fracture, it's pretty much over.
Or a femur fracture, same thing. So the only thing that prevents all of this is muscle.
Muscle. Very good point. So let's switch gears to corporate world. I mean, thank you for taking it out on my friends, because I always have this debate. First of all, some of the things in your report were encouraging, but at the same time slightly concerning, right? 77% people were unhappy with corporate wellness programs. That's from your report directly. But 57% of organizations since COVID have increased their allocation on wellness. That is also in your report. But still people feel they're inadequate. And almost 40-50% felt they were inadequate. So there seems to be this disconnect between the corporate leaders who feel that, we are increasing spend and we're doing wellness, we have a gym, we have this, we have programs. A lot of them will be tied up with you also at Fitpass. At the same time, the guys feel this is not enough and I'm not happy with whatever you're giving me. So where is that disconnect in the corporate world?
It's a very good question. So I seldom come across leaders who feel like what they're doing is not the best. So there's a lot of surety.
Is that specific to India or
no, in
globally?
India? In India, because I think we're still very hierarchical. And maybe if I say the word, it's very feudal in our thinking. Right? A boss is a boss.
Right.
We still use sir, ma'am. Right? So there is a defined hierarchy and there is a defined key. I know better, I have lived more life than you, or whatever the reasons are.
Right.
So I think the first disconnect is, what does wellness mean?
That maybe we should define that now.
Because I think, and since this is an adult-only podcast.
Yes, it's not for kids. None of the kids are going to watch it.
Yes, so I think wellness is a very bastardized word in corporate India. Okay, what I mean to say, I'll give you a parallel. If it was a financial program, a financial wellness program, the way you would define it in your head, or the corporate leaders would define it, is if our employees have 100 rupees in their pocket, this program should help them make this 100 into 150 over a period of time.
Correct.
Okay. Nobody says that I want my employees to first go bankrupt
and then
I'll try and get them as close to 100 rupees as possible. So wellness means identifying your baseline and improving it, right? You have to take something and make it better. That
Wellness.
is a wellness
Better.
program,
Yeah.
right? Today in corporate India, for health, everything wellness that they say is wellness is actually triggered after illness.
After somebody's got a stent or somebody's got a heart attack or...
So insurance, okay. I have to fall so ill that I must get hospitalized for 24 hours at
Because
least.
we do only IPD, we don't do OPD also in insurance.
Okay. OPD also some people are covering or discounting. I will only go to the doctor if I'm ill.
Correct.
Medicine reimbursements maybe, or health checkups or medical discounts. All of these are things when I'm ill. But as corporate India, you tell me I only get 15 days of sick leave in a year. So I'm only supposed to fall ill 15 days a year. So all of these things
That is
are for 15 days a year. What happens to the other 350 days? So the biggest disconnect is where you think your responsibility is when you're defining a wellness program. So who are you defining for? And what do you want to achieve with it?
Because somewhere, I'm going to ask you something very controversial. I think the guys, and we discussed this briefly, I think the guys who are deciding these programs, I don't know who are they. Even I've worked in corporate life for a very long time. I don't know who decides this. Whose idea is this? Is it a government of India mandate or somewhere it's coming from EPFO? I don't know who decided 15 days of sick leave are enough, right? Because unless you've done genetic testing on each one and you know the predilection, you can't put a number to it. For some it may 35, some it'll be 5 also. The guy doesn't fall ill. He's like he's got innate immunity. And the second thing is, if you have decided that okay, this is the X amount of time he's gonna fall ill, isn't it in my best interest that he doesn't even fall ill for those days? And then what are the countermeasures I'm making for them? For me as an employer, it's in my best interest. And suppose you're working for me or Pranav here is working for me. I want him to be working every day,
So
not taking a sick leave. So it's in my best interest he works. He doesn't fall sick.
It is so intuitive,
Right.
right? But somehow corporate India doesn't behave like that. And I think I have 2-3 reasons why. I think some CA back in the day, they decided that when you buy an asset, okay, you buy a machine or whatever, it is an asset, right? It's classified as an asset. You depreciate it. And we are taught that 3 years lagega break even mein. It's a program.
Correct.
It'll pay off. And when you buy an asset, you buy insurance for it in case it breaks down. You have engineers who are only dedicated to making sure that that asset functions efficiently.
Right.
You give it downtime, right?
Correct.
But for employees, none of this exists.
Because the CA did not decide
CA
that.
told you it is a P&L item. It is a cost.
It's a liability.
It is a cost. And that mindset is a very big problem. Because everything you said right now, who is raising this question to the leaders? Right? Nobody. Right? Now it is start happening that in town halls people raise this question. Now in the West you have activist shareholders who will raise this question.
Right.
In India currently that has not happened. So nobody is asking these corporate leaders that is it not their fiduciary duty to leave the organization stronger than what they inherited?
Correct.
So when you said cost cutting, Harvard Business Review put a 7-year longitudinal study in place, which they published some years ago now, that said, I'm giving the conclusion, how it doesn't matter where you ply your trade. As you're a human being, you could be working as a plumber, you could be in a bank, you could be a consultant, you could be an astronaut. If you get fever or you get an analgesic, or if you have pain, you get whatever, ibuprofen or whatever. Medicines behave in your physiology the same way. It doesn't matter what you do, where you work.
Right.
Physical exercise and your body behave the same way. It doesn't matter where you ply your trade or what you do. The benefits of good food and exercise are the same for the human body.
Correct.
So they did a study across all industries, construction, consulting, tech, all of that. And they realized that every company who invested $1 in a fitness program for their employees got back $6 in returns.
Okay.
How? $3.27 was because of reduction in absenteeism. So you said people shouldn't. One more cause that nobody ever spoke of was, when I come in, I know on my 16th day you'll cut my pay. So I try and not take sick days. So I come in, I'm half functioning. I delay decisions, I make poor decisions, and I infect 5 other people,
Yeah, I was coming to that.
right?
Yeah, so
So
I'm
the-
a biological weapon now.
So I'm a huge cost to you, and
Right.
you never accounted for it. वो छुट्टी पे काम नहीं हुआ रुक गया चल रहा है. That is a big cost. And in a country like America, which is we're still a fabled socialist economy, they're a capitalist economy.
Correct.
So they measured it,
Correct.
and they realized that was the biggest cost that they had, loss in productivity. So absenteeism, loss in productivity, increase in productivity, and reduction in healthcare expenditure,
Expenditure,
not
right.
insurance. Everything else, because you still have to provide for medicine.
Correct.
That was $3.27. $2.73 was a direct reduction in health insurance premium. Okay, so $6. No asset. No, you ask any CFO, you tell me any asset gives you 6 times return for $1 invested. Nothing.
So I have
Okay.
even bigger problem now. I think, and you correct me, please, wherever you feel I'm going off, because I have experience in 5 or 6
Yeah,
firms,
for
and
sure.
you're seeing much more than that. Most of these policies are made by the human resources department. Now they're calling it people experience or human capital. It's the HR. But given what Howard has said, what you're figuring out, shouldn't the CFO be leading wellness programs? Because or
I
the
think
operations head
I think
also.
the CEO should be, because it is, as a chief executive officer of a firm, P&L is one major item for them,
Correct.
and succession legacy is an important item,
Correct.
and upholding that this organization lasts for the next 20-30 years is there, and are probably the only person who is answerable to everybody, the board, the shareholder,
Correct.
and the employee and their families.
Correct.
Right? Very overarching. So I think culture comes from the top. So CFO may have executive powers over it, because even with HR, I think one problem is budget.
Because they are a cost function. At the end of the day.
Exactly. And because we're still treating employee wellness as a cost item, we're not treating it as an investment that pays over time.
Right.
You want to do your math today. Okay, today, what is the math the CFO does? Last year कितना claim हुआ था?
हाँ.
इस साल, you say add 15% for medical inflation. You say IBNR, incurred but not reported claims, and count of life has increased. तो आप इंश्योरेंस दे देते हो. आपका मेजर खर्चा इज इंश्योरेंस. हाउ मेनी पीपल आर फॉलिंग सिक इन अ गिवन पॉपुलेशन? 6-7%. Right? If you're not able to reduce that, then how are you being effective? Every time just negotiating premium is not the job. Right? With everything else, maybe you're thinking of how to optimize your supply chain, how to optimize your raw material supply, how to hedge your FX risk. You're figuring out ways to cut your losses. But are you doing that for employee wellness? You're not figuring out how to cut your losses.
But have you done any analysis of the companies that you speak to see, and if you can name anyone who's really stood out and you feel they're probably getting it?
Okay.
In a positive sense. I can't. I know you.
So
if you have to
I
name the
think-
other side, it'll be a whole list of things.
So I'll say it as diplomatically as I can. So today, Fitpass works with 17 lakh active employees in the country. Okay, let that number just sink in. 17 lakh is a humongous number.
Correct.
Right? 17 lakh is no joke.
It's the population of some countries.
Yeah, twice the population of New Zealand.
Yeah.
So those many people those many corporate employees are actively in
Fitpass.
in wellness programs being run by Fitpass. So working out, exercising,
Correct.
Eating well, logging their meals, all of that. Leaders that have global exposure are your first adopters. They have understood. Okay. Leaders who themselves understand the importance of physical exercise, well-being, and nutrition are the first to adopt. Because this is health, there is a lot of personal bias and misinformation.
Right.
So you'll find a lot of leaders who will say, "Arey nahi, bas sona chahiye."
हाँ. Yeah.
You encounter that also.
Right.
But with these 17 lakh, we realized that these are the guys. Now, some of them have employees that are, I think the largest corporate we serve has more than 330,000 employees.
Okay.
Okay. Lots of them have 1 lakh employees, because most of you have to think about India also, right? Youngest workforce
Yeah.
in the world, 28 years of age. We're already the world's diabetic capital, world's hypertensive capital, world's obesity capital, right? And we're not even 60% of the population is below 35.
Correct.
In the next 8 to 10 years, when we get to 35,
Right.
if people fall sick, we're not going to be a $5 trillion economy, right? Because sick people don't buy iPhones, sick people buy medicines.
Correct.
Right.
Pharma sector will do much better.
Well, I don't know. Maybe generics will, but the country will not, and then there'll be a
Correct.
huge cost on. And we saw during COVID, right? We don't have the health infrastructure to manage so many sick people.
Right.
Right? We ran out of oxygen. We didn't have beds. So if the country falls sick, there is no turning back. Right? So some leaders understand all of this, and they also want to, and they also realize that the West, if they're MNCs, the West already gives benefits like Fitpass. So in the West, in the US, and in Europe, there are companies called GymPass, a big unicorn, which does exactly what Fitpass does, ClassPass. So GymPass, ClassPass, Fitpass. In India, we think gyms are awesome.
Right.
Nowhere in the West do people think CapEx or infra heavy things are awesome. What they think is where programs where behavior can be influenced and demand can be aggregated, those are awesome. So programs like us. So one CFO asked us that ROI really we have to figure out because it's a year-on-year investment that we have to do. So this is just after COVID. At that time, India was facing what was called the great attrition, the great resignation.
People were resigning.
So attrition and resignation was a big cost. One more thing about India is we went from primary economy, agriculture, to tertiary economy. Yes.
We didn't have manufacturing.
No manufacturing. So tertiary economy, your only asset is actually your employee only. There is nothing else you have. So if you don't protect it, you're in trouble.
Correct.
That great attrition taught these big ITES companies and these big software delivery companies and these big service companies, whether it is bank, insurance, it's all service sector, right? They understood that employee really needs to be taken care of. So now they needed a way to justify immediate cost. Because after COVID, everybody is still suffering, right? It had been economically difficult for everybody, except maybe ITs, because they were earning in dollars and spending in lower rupees.
Correct.
So one CFO gave us an idea. Why don't you look at attrition? They explained to us that to replace one senior manager, say, it costs them about 3x of their CTC. So if imagine a program with Fitpass costs for X number of employees 3 crore rupees. Their average cost of senior manager is 25 lakh rupees.
Right.
Okay. If 8 of them go, they lose 2 crore rupees.
Right.
12 of them go, they lose 3 crore rupees. So if after running a program like Fitpass, if they prevent at least 15 people from leaving, then the program has paid for itself, which is a good idea. Let us try. So we tried this. So with 17 corporates, each of them needed to have a minimum of 5,000 full-time employees.
Okay.
So ranging from 5,000 to all the way to 3 lakh plus. We did a study for a year. We found that if people were just enrolled in the Fitpass program, not using it,
Just enrolled.
Right. Attrition fell by 14% in that cohort. Just knowing that the employer cares about me and I have access and I can do whatever I want on my own terms, that made attrition fall 14%.
This is just the feel-good factor.
Just that much. And for those who were using it, means at least they were doing only 2 workouts a month. We're not even getting to what the average user does, but just 2 workouts a month. Attrition fell by 42% in that cohort.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And this was done 2022?
No, this was done in 2023, then
2023.
repeated in 2025.
This report did not have that.
No, this is our study. So
That,
the report you read was actually published by Economic Times,
right.
where they went and did independent study for us. So we'd commissioned that study.
Okay.
And so that was independent. Not all of them were our clients. This was only with our clients to show
Wow.
impact.
So cohort is 5,000 plus employees. And you just looked at those with Fitpass not even working out 14%.
And 42% if they were doing at least 2 workouts a month.
Are you serious?
Yes. And you will see then BCG came out with the report saying that 89% of employees want some sort of assurance for their well-being. Actually, the problem is well-being definition only.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
wrong definition.
The pyramid is like this. Majority of our workforce is below 35. They're not ill. So deducting only insurance premium from their CTC does not help them. They feel alienated, right? Because in their minds, the older guys need insurance. They don't yet need it. So to have a base cover is of course required. But if a company has decided, let's say I'm going to spend $100 on the employee benefit program.
Right.
At least allow the employee, don't be prescriptive. कि यही insurance 5 lakh का लेना है. Allow them to use that $100 the way they want. right? That okay, you must have a base cover of say 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees. That costs you $20. Baki $80, let them spend the way they want. So most of the big corporates, that is exactly what they have done.
They started doing this now?
This is what, because they know you can't prescribe, right? There's in large cohort you can't be prescriptive. How can you know what everybody needs?
Right.
Right. So what you have to do is ensure as a leader you empower your employees to make the best decisions. So you bring everything that is available to them, you give them information and you give them agency and let them choose. And as they choose, you encourage the right behavior through incentives.
Understood.
And one more thing that corporates have done is, they have everybody has loyalty and rewards.
Right.
So even if you don't have a wellness budget, you have loyalty and rewards.
Right.
कि हर साल में 5,000 रुपए I will give to my employees.
We have all these awards.
ठीक है? A lot of companies start saying, okay, of that 5,000 rupees, 20% must be a wellness spend. So they can only go on wellness initiatives that they have identified. So suddenly you got budget, you don't have to fight for new budget.
Right.
And you started inculcating behavior. So as people started adopting it, you now had a case to go back to your CXOs to say we need designated budget for this. And that included everything. Wellness does not just mean Fitpass, but whatever else they wanted people to do.
Correct. So out of the 17.5 lakh
Active people.
People that use Fitpass, right? What percentage of people will be covered by these benevolent, enlightened organizations?
No, these are those people.
These are those people.
These are 17 lakh corporate employees.
They are the ones who are being covered by these.
Yes, and they're active. So eligible might be closer to 60 lakhs or something.
Who are not using.
No, who are the total base. Out of which 17 lakh are active every month at least. 17 to 18 lakh are active. So 1/3 is active. So, okay, even that way. So I'm telling you, we're about a 28-30% utilization. No corporate program sees this kind of utilization.
28%. That's pretty high.
Very high. Because the moment you give them agency, घर पे workout कर लो, nutrition planning कर लो, gym चले जाओ, doctor से बात कर लो, psychologist से बात कर लो, आपको हर चीज़ जब एक जगह मिल गया. बहुत सारे corporates में there is a problem also that they have the services,
right?
But they're disaggregated players,
right?
So when the employee needs it, they also don't know where to go.
Correct.
ऐसा नहीं that some corporates have gone above and beyond to solve, but because there are multiple players, the employee at time of need actually doesn't know where to go. So when you're one solution, it helps. And because when we work with corporates, we have 2 or 3 rules. We really want the CXOs to talk about it. Whether or not they participate in the program is up to them, but they have to socialize it. Because unless it gets socialized from the top, it doesn't become accepted at the bottom.
Correct.
So they should socialize. Town hall में बोलें, water cooler पे पूछें. Every 3 months, हमारा एक HRMS होता है, which the corporate HR has, whoever has been designated. And they follow. They must meet us every 3 months to discuss what the numbers mean. They can't come to us at the end of the year saying, oh, हमें तो पता ही नहीं है क्या हुआ. We've given you a thing and you must give us time. 1 hour, coffee, we have to meet. We will explain what the numbers are doing, what they were last quarter, what they're doing this quarter, and whatever your objectives are, they must be driven. And third is, you must have champions.
That really helps.
Sales champion तो आप बनाते रहते हो. And इस champions में, we tell them not to talk about who lost the most weight. What we talk about is who showed up more. Consistency. Exactly. And today we have 100% success in all our corporate programs. In terms of there's zero attrition. No corporate has ever left us. And we started at a time when corporate wellness was not a thing.
Correct.
No corporate has ever left us. And the populations have increased. And now we are integrated with insurance, right? So insurers have to use our data. So when I was telling you about insurance premium negotiation, now corporates understand that if you have Fitpass, then mandatorily the insurer has to say, oh, the population is now getting fitter, so that must go into their underwriting.
Correct.
And the regulation says a discount must be given. So now the CFO can say, मैंने 3 crore रुपए यहाँ खर्च किए हैं. What is the impact here? Because earlier my population, you had no data, तो आप बोलते थे last year का claim ये है, but now I'm telling you my population is becoming healthier. Year on year I can prove it, whether it is the aggregated step counts, resting heart rate of the entire organization, whatever anonymized data you want to present to the insurer, you can, and they have to accept it.
Correct.
So suddenly we're moving towards more scientific design for everything.
Correct. Plus you're reducing the risk, right, in a way.
Yes.
So that brings me to an interesting point. You said consistency. You don't care about, how much weight they lost or how many steps. You just want them to be consistent. So I'm going on a limb here. In Bangalore, we consider ourselves very sporty, right? Because the weather is good, we play all year round.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, I'm just making a guess here. The Bangalore must be the most consistent city as far as Fitpass is concerned. Which city is the most consistent? Let's come to that.
How do you want to define consistency? That
They show up most often.
They show up most often.
Yeah.
So tier 2 shows up most often.
More than tier 1.
Yeah. So
Okay.
cities like Agra, Jaipur, Lucknow.
Lucknow, are you serious?
Yes, very serious.
But they keep talking all the time.
No, so I'm trying to tell you wherever there are more than at least 5,000 people in a day working out.
In these cities. Under Fitpass.
Yes.
Are you?
No,
You're telling me tier 2 works out more than tier 1.
yes. 100%. They work out more, they engage more, they renew more, they're more consistent. Aspiration to get fit is everywhere, right? कोई नहीं बोलता मुझे बीमार.
फिटनेस को एक बार साइड में कर देते हैं बिकॉज मैं मेंटल फिटनेस है, फिजिकल फिटनेस है.
But aspiration to not
I know, not fall sick.
Yeah.
Let's say not fall sick.
not fall sick is everywhere, and there could be multiple other triggers also.
You're telling me Agra is the most consistent city in India as far as fitness is concerned.
Well, I'm not saying it by a lot, but like you say, इनके बाद आएगा हैदराबाद, उसके बाद आपके दिल्ली, बॉम्बे, बैंगलोर होंगे.
Hyderabad is ahead of Bangalore.
In terms of how, so they'll work out 11, 12 times a month. Yeah.
So
Larger cities are mostly around 8 to 10 times a month.
Wow. So let's nobody understands this, huh? So when you see a Hardik Pandya the way he's playing, or a Jasprit Bumrah the way he's playing, this is because they are essentially, they came from smaller places. I don't know what Jasprit Bumrah, but Hardik Pandya did. Ravindra Jadeja did.
Most of
Ishan Kishan did.
most of our players actually come from smaller places only.
Small places, right? So what you're telling me, and this is fascinating. So, and this is coinciding a lot. A lot of corporates are now going to tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. You see that trend now. You're opening these centers in smaller places.
Yeah.
But your data already shows that these guys show up more.
Yes.
Whether it's Agra, which is number 1 in your list, or you said second was Jaipur and the third was
Lucknow.
Right? I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, neither would I.
But
It's only that
data doesn't lie.
We just released our annual report in January.
Right.
So this data is fresh for me.
Right.
So I know, but otherwise, if you told me to guess, I'd be like, yeah, Gurgaon, etc. But those
I'd always felt somewhere I thought fitness-wise, Bangalore would have showed up more. But
Bangalore is definitely top for yoga. It's top for yoga. Strength is more Delhi, Bombay.
a strength, though, I'll give. Not Punjab.
No, Ludhiana and all are there, but I'm talking about sheer volume.
Volume.
And when you have that much optionality also, like Ludhiana may not have so many Pilates studios or Zumba studios or CrossFit as Delhi and Bombay will have. And then people choose strength
Correct.
when you have all the options. So then
Correct.
that sort of shows preference.
Both of us have got exposure to Delhi, so we all know Delhi would be high on, everybody used to
Strength,
do weight training there.
It was very funny. You was talking about Bangalore. I was just reading, many years ago, I read a tweet, and I don't know if it's true or false, but some investor had come to India and he was on a roadshow, and he tweeted that the difference between Delhi and Bangalore founders are fit and profitable, and Bangalore founders are unfit and still looking for profit. And this is very true. Like I'm just dropping names here, but you look at the Delhi founders, like Yashish Dahiya, Policy Bazaar, triathlete, Ironman.
Right.
Yeah. Look at Dipinder Goyal.
Yeah, Dipinder Goyal. Yeah.
Suddenly Delhi people are fit. I don't know who the Bangalore fit people are.
There are quite a few.
No, but at a stage, I don't know.
I mean, the amount of fitness that I've been to Delhi, but I was in Delhi at a different time.
Yeah.
In our countries change a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So now when I go to, I see a lot of marathons.
Hmm.
I see a lot of medals in people's houses. People
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
And for a while I didn't know that you get a medal for finishing.
But actually, that's absolutely the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the
I mean,
consistency.
I thought
part.
you have to win. So I used to always think that this guy wins. And then I figured out that someone told me that no, you finish, you get a medal. Finishing is a great deal too. So
I think
42 kilometers.
showing up is very important, right?
Correct.
Just that we keep saying internally, and we joke that our biggest competition is the sofa. Because if our customer, we can get them to tie their shoelaces, वो उठ के बाहर आ जाएगा and they'll work out. The competition is this thing. वो बैठा हुआ है, उसको उठाना है, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग एल्स इन द इकोसिस्टम वांट्स देम टू कीप सिटिंग.
करेक्ट
Right?
करेक्ट.
खाना घर पे, ग्रोसरी घर पे, एंटरटेनमेंट घर पे,
टीवी घर पे,
सब कुछ.
yeah.
इंडियन सिट द मोस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड, आपको पता है. सो अब काम पे यू सिट 8 hours.
हाँ.
आप गाड़ी में जाते हो काम पे, यू कम बैक इन अ कार और अ मेट्रो और वट एवर यू सिटिंग. खाना खाते हो बैठ के, उसके बाद 8-6 घंटे सो जाते हो. 16-18 hours you are flat or you're not moving.
Indians sit the most, huh?
They sit the most, and which is why our line is sitting is the new smoking, because sitting is killing more people than smoking.
Might as well walk outside and have a cigarette. You'll probably do better.
Yeah, like city like Delhi with that AQI, yeah.
But I see a lot more activity.
Yes,
you won't believe
100%.
it. On Sunday, we were up for our tea time, 6:30. There were some 40 people fighting with each other who's going to tee off first. This is Sunday, 6:30 in the morning.
Definitely
So
activity.
I think activity has increased, but
yes.
what is encouraging is what you're telling me about the tier 2 or tier 3 towns. And also what you're telling me is, while appearance and perception might be different, a city like Hyderabad is more consistent.
Yes.
But you always associate Hyderabad with laid back.
Yes.
It's still very laid back compared to Delhi, Bombay and Bangalore.
Maybe those are the reasons that I do not know. I'm just second guessing here that maybe larger cities, there's just so many more things. Travel time takes. A smaller city just has maybe more accessibility, because repeatedly one thing that we realize is, in India, willingness is not the problem. Access is.
Access is the problem.
Infrastructure is not the problem. Participation is.
So we have to change it from willingness or willpower, motivation, all that,
Make it easy
to participate. And then from saying things like infra nahi hai, which is a common thing for everything, right? To participation. You just show up.
मुझे एक ना थोड़ा similar होगा maybe. Dr. Arvind Lal, who started Lal Pathlers.
Right.
I met him once.
Right.
And he told me that किसी को खून देना पसंद नहीं है. But and they became this big, and he says कि ये तब हुआ जब insurers made it mandatory कि आपको खून देना है.
For giving you the policy and for other things. Yeah.
So the moment you changed how people access it, suddenly it became normal.
Correct.
तो पहले भी वो थे, but पहले आपको खुद आके अपना खून देना था, just to know about
अब घर जाके लेते हैं. There also we are sitting. So
and same thing Deccan also did. उसके पहले before Air Deccan, if somebody said what is the airline market in India, तो Air India ही चलता था. तो people would be like, people love going in the train, राजधानी सबको पसंद है. The moment a low cost airline came and said, okay, I'm going to give it at the same rate, all of these guys moved. Suddenly the airline industry started burgeoning. But if you thought about it before, until you had made it accessible, there was no industry. Same thing Uber, Ola. Until you come up with a model that encourages participation, brings more people into the ecosystem and solves access, the country doesn't win and the consumer doesn't win. So building more gyms is absolutely not required. Coming up with programs that encourage participation, that is the need of the hour.
Access and participation.
Yeah.
That is the key. Not infrastructure and what was the other thing you said? You said access, give them access.
And help them participate. So incentivize participation.
As opposed to infra, which we keep cribbing about. And the other thing was?
No, that's just infra. We don't need to create more supply.
More supply.
Yeah,
more
so
supply.
Infra supply.
Very good point. Because immediately you start talking about, Asha, let's open 10 more places.
आपको वो नहीं चाहिए. Today gyms in India are running at 30% utilization.
वो भी काफी ज़्यादा है.
30%, 70% is empty.
Empty, हाँ.
So today in India, if you just fulfill the existing demand, which is unmet, is a $3.4 billion opportunity every year. उतना capacity खड़ा है market में.
जिसके लिए कुछ बनाने की जरूरत भी नहीं.
कुछ नहीं बनाने की जरूरत.
बस एक्सेस दिलाना है.
बस लोगों को अंदर लाना है. तो आप इतना ईजी कर दो लोगों के लिए फिट होना कि मतलब उसको सीरियल के डब्बे पे भी मिल रहा है फ्री वर्कआउट में. तो मैं तो बोलता रहता हूँ, all these sportswear, athletic wear companies, India में ना they make night suits. कोई नहीं पहनता उनको जिम में, सब पहन के सो जाते हैं.
सो जाते हैं.
तो all of that dollars are wasted. They should actually start integrating programs that, okay, boss, with this you get free access for a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing with wearables. मुझे कितने, I have a question to all wearable makers, and I've looked at the annual reports. How many people come and say कि अच्छा आपका नया watch आया है, मैं upgrade करता हूँ because accuracy ज़्यादा है. More people wear you in restaurants. Apart from an alarm,
and some people do sleep tracking.
Unless India gets active तब तक तो ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज अनलॉक ही नहीं हो रही हैं. एंड ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ केवल. डालबर्ग डिड अ रिपोर्ट. It said that 50% of India is inactive.
Right.
Okay. पहले तो that inactivity definition is.
I've written that down.
Okay, so the definition of inactivity is so basic. Okay, what WHO says कि 150 minutes of exercise in a week.
In a week, okay.
So 150 minutes is 2.5 hours. A week has 168 hours. तो 2.5 घंटे लोग मूव नहीं कर रहे हैं 168 आवर्स में. ये हालत है इंडिया की.
पर्पसफुली मूव नहीं कर रहे, मतलब
हाँ,
वैसे मूव कर रहे हैं.
टहल तो रही है.
हाँ, वॉकिंग तो कर रहे हैं.
बट बिकॉज इंडिया हैज अ हैबिट ऑफ सेइंग कि मतलब मैं सामान भी ऊपर रख रहा हूँ नीचे कर रहा हूँ तो उसका एक्सरसाइज
वो भी एक्सरसाइज है. सो गाइस व्हाटएवर ही इज सेइंग, वॉकिंग इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन दैट. डोंट गेट एक्साइटेड कि मैं तो चलता हूँ 10 राउंड दिन का.
सो उनका रिपोर्ट कहता है that if Indians just get active, that they start working out, or they start doing exercise, playing, whatever, in the physical activity for more than 2.5 hours, India unlocks 15 lakh crores. Just look at the number of zeros. 15, फिर lakh है मतलब 5 zeros, फिर crore है मतलब 7 zeros. Okay? Annually to their GDP. कुछ नहीं करना है. Just that people have started becoming active. Unlocks 15 lakh crore annually for our GDP.
And this was a Harvard study, right?
No, this is a Dalberg study.
Dalberg study, okay.
Second, you reduce your healthcare burden. So you are suddenly now, for your family, as an individual, you're doing better.
Right.
For your family, you reduce healthcare costs and burden. For the nation, you've reduced it. So you're adding to the GDP, you're adding to your own well-being, you're reducing costs for everybody, you're becoming an asset to everyone around you. What more could you need? So what, and this I think the country understood, policymakers understood. We've been arguing with them, debating with them for years now.
That Fit India is
so Fit India was one. Then now we reduced GST from 18% to 5%. Fitpass is single-handedly the only person who works with the government for policy change. We submit data, we negotiate, we talk, we represent.
So all gym membership is 5% now. GST.
Yes. And we were finally recognized as a necessity, right? The country recognizes that being fit is a necessity. And it is not just for you, right? The Indian Army needs it, the NDA needs it, everybody needs it, right?
As opposed to a luxury.
Yeah, because earlier it was a luxury. First, when GST had come in 2017, it was at 28%. We had fought with them then, and we had worked with the government to bring it to 18. From 18, we brought it to 5. So today it is recognized as a core pillar of preventive health. Right? Ayush got recognized. So why is yoga? So what about the other things?
Right.
And this same argument we'd also given to them, that our athletes and our medal winners and this India Olympic gold quest, our cricketers all come from small towns.
Correct.
So your sports infrastructure is also at 18. You have to bring fitness and sports to 5. And that is, it took us 2 years. There is a division of the government called TPRU, Tax Policy Research Unit. Right? So just because Akshay Verma is saying it and Fitpass is saying it, the Prime Minister did not change policy. There is a division. They assess economic impact today, loss in revenue today, future growth, future recovery of revenue. And it took us 2 years and nobody else had this kind of data. So after 2 years, TPRU got convinced. And then when GST Council makes a change, it affects all the states. So all the ministers are there. Then the council passes it. So
Correct.
people think, oh, GST बदल गया, but ऐसे
ऐसे नहीं बदलता.
ऐसे अपने आप नहीं बदलता है.
Consensus चाहिए होता है.
Consensus चाहिए होता है. उसके लिए data चाहिए होता है. Government works on evidence. Government does not, no matter which political party it is, nobody works on whims. Right? There are officers, bureaucrats, balances, checks, and everybody has to get convinced. So intuitively, the whole country understands, every leader understands, हाँ भाई अपना demographic dividend है, उसको protect करना है, नहीं protect करेंगे तो वो बहुत बड़ा liability बन जाएगा.
Correct.
But corporates में ये बात अभी तक लोग समझे नहीं है. And you think about it, government is a more difficult
body to
stakeholder.
convince.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people usually think, oh, government तो slow है, नहीं करती हम.
But I'll tell you something. The politicians, you give them whatever flack, they have a very good sense of the pulse of what people want.
Yes.
If the government is thinking and talking, and they've been continuously talking about it for a while,
Yes.
I think I would defer that the corporates have lost touch with the ranks.
That's what I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yes.
Yeah, because we always see that because top leaders, they lose touch with ground, they lose touch with customers, they lose touch with what's happening in the market, and तभी the big companies suddenly, you know, they are caught unawares कि some changes happened. But the politicians are never caught unawares. They are always anticipating. Even if he's going to lose, for the media he'll say, yeah, we're going to win. But internally he's told all his supporters, we're going to lose. So let's pack it in.
Yeah,
Right? So I think somewhere the politicians get it. People want it. But my assumption, my assessment after speaking to you is that I don't think the corporates are getting it. They're not in touch.
I think so. We did a few things where it really impacted them. Some MNCs we went to and we sort of tried to create a revolution. We went to them and said, US में मिलता है, आपको नहीं मिलता है, आपको यहाँ इंडिया में सैलरी भी कम देते हैं, बेनिफिट भी कम देते हैं. So what is, otherwise you want to get posted there and you unlock all these benefits and earnings. So what is the problem here? So that sort of sparked conversations, but obviously that is not a strategy that you can implement across everybody where you have some comfort with some friends you can say and then a conversation can start. But we started seeing that, there is some sort of, either India is just so focused on being a back office where our GCCs dominate, and everything is so cost sensitive, and maybe there is excess labor. There is very little respect for your employee.
Correct.
Love to hai nahi.
Respect bhi nahi hai, you're saying.
Very little respect. मतलब, if you truly cared about your employee and you wanted to nourish them into leaders, वो तो attitude बहुत rare है देखने के लिए. You might have a chosen few who you nourish, but if you represent 1 lakh employees or 100, even if it's 10,000 employees, are you nourishing them? I don't think people even look at that. You do audits, but I don't know who looks at how they are feeling, what their baseline was last year, how it evolved now, what all metrics they're doing.
It is very difficult to prove it, Akshay. That's my reality. Because what happens is there's some data. First of all, we are very bad at keeping data. If I have to point fingers, we speak a lot. We speak very eloquently. We will not document anything. That's why I was so impressed with your report, because it gave me a window into corporate India's programs. This is one program. So we don't keep these records. We have a few records, like how much we paid for insurance, which is the easiest record to keep, because there was a PO that was issued to whatever insurance company there is, and that can be pulled back. Then we can do a few audits like, okay, how many gyms we have.
Medical reimbursements.
Reimbursement. But I don't know how many people are walking into my gym.
So these things we give, there are systems.
Exactly.
And one thing we give with our corporate program is a wearable. Everybody gets it, whether you're participating, working out or not, you wear a wearable. So as an organization, I have a lot of data, you as yourself as an organization have a lot of data about general population behavior. Correct. Which is what I was saying, that is what gets used by insurance companies. That general population, even if it's anonymized, I'm not saying, or you can divide it by cohorts, how people are behaving, have their general step count increased over the last year for this segment of population, has resting heart rate decreased, has sleep increased, has whatever has peaked. All of that, and you can compare it by flu season versus non-flu season versus winter, summer. So that sort of cuts we're able to give. I don't even have to give it. It's just right there in the HRMS.
Excellent. So let's get into some interesting area, slightly tricky, but gender, right? Men and women. Any difference in behavior?
Lots. I think men were early adopters, and they still represent a larger portion in our member base. But the growth in women participation is phenomenal. So phenomenal, what I mean is, from last year to this year, our women members grew 28%.
Okay.
But 28% may seem like a normal number in India, but our base is huge. We have 11 million fitsters.
Right.
So 28% is a huge number. If I was a small base, the numbers are larger. With a big base like this, 28% is very meaningful, very considerable. Women are more adventurous. They will mix their workouts. One thing we saw last year was Pilates check-ins grew by 191%. So that is now a workout format that is blowing through the roof. And obviously women dominate that. And they will mix their workouts. So they will do strength. Participation in strength training is almost equivalent to men.
So more women in the gym.
More women in the gym, 100%. It is no longer. So
I don't remember seeing a woman in the gym.
Ever. No, that has changed, and Bangalore definitely has changed.
No, Bangalore, here it has changed. I see quite a few women.
Everywhere.
But when I was growing up.
When you were growing up, I agree.
Never see a woman in the gym.
Because I remember when we started in 2015, we used to keep saying we're a pass to gyms. Then we did a little brand study, and we learned that gym is a negative word because the image it portrayed to people was a dark and dingy place with smelly men grunting. So that is why we used to say gyms and studios, gyms and fitness centers. Okay, we used to stay away
Fitness studio.
Okay, we used to stay away from gyms. Now that has changed. Women are participating, and strength training is something that both of them are doing equally.
So my experience of gym, in those days used to be there'll be either a Ronnie Coleman photo or a
Poster,
Arnold
yeah.
Schwarzenegger photo. I think now there was no copyright taken ever from these guys.
Yeah.
And like you described it, dark, smelly basement,
Yeah, something
stinky places where guys will be grunting and there'll be some weird music going on.
So
Sometimes.
that has changed. I think women are participating more actively.
So women are now, when you say they are more into strength training,
Yes.
so that awareness that you need strength training has come in.
Yeah, all that misconception that I will become masculine, this will happen, that's all of that is gone. People understand, people read more. I think the onset of artificial intelligence and access to information has allowed
Right.
people to directly access journals and see what the science says. It is no longer old wives' tales.
So that's fascinating. One other tricky question I have is, which age group is more likely to drop out?
Most likely to drop out.
Ah,
30 to 35, 36, that age group.
that middle management, or not middle,
Middle
early
management,
man.
yeah. A late millennial.
Why do they drop out? Because they feel they have everything.
Because they feel they're untouchable. So they're
Achha, they're
rising
young.
in their career right now, right? You've just gone, you're no longer the junior most, but you're not the senior most where the pressure will come. So you're rising, you have enough disposable income, and you feel you're untouchable maybe. Like I'm just second guessing it. I don't know the exact reason, but maybe you're feeling you're untouchable. The 35 plus, 36 plus don't behave like that anymore. Either they become a parent and they realize there's responsibility and there must be an asset, or because unfortunately preventable lifestyle diseases, and people use this word, but it's preventable only by exercise and nutrition.
Correct.
Somebody in their circle has already started suffering. Maybe diabetes has already happened to a friend. Maybe a heart attack has already happened to somebody close to them. So the 36 plus age group works out and they understand the importance.
So 30 to 35 is your problem.
And below 35, below 30, the Gen Zs, you don't have to explain.
Yeah,
So
get
40 plus, you don't have to explain. Below 30, you don't have to explain. They are active participants. Beach mein there is a segment जिसको लगता है कि अभी वो nothing can happen to them.
But I have a theory that the जो भी Gen Z का देख रहे हो ना, wait for the Gen Alpha. I have a Gen Alpha at home and I have a
so
Gen
do
Z
I.
at home.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. That is a different animal altogether.
Yeah.
I think those guys will be good at a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
fairly positive.
And I think that which is why like fitness and wellness and health is an evergreen thesis for an economy or a country that thinks they're going to be around for thousands of years.
Right.
Because as you become more prosperous, as your basics are taken care of, and you evolve out of that scarcity mindset,
Yeah.
what happens then? You have to take care of yourself, and
Correct.
all levels of socio-economic classification, they'll all do better. So suddenly you will need to be more functional in your old age. The help that we're used to
Correct.
may or may not exist, and ideally that is as a society what you want, that everybody does better, everybody gets education. So jobs like that may or may not exist.
Correct.
So you will need less assistance at home. So you need to be functional. You need to be able to tie your laces. You need to be able to unscrew that bottle.
Even drive a car is
So I
required.
think the conversation now has to go from lifespan to health span. That's
Health
where
span,
everywhere it is. So quality of life matters, and I think that is where India will progress.
That's what
to.
David Sinclair talks about a lot. Right?
David Sinclair talks about, but Dr. Peter Attia wrote about
Peter
it in his
Attia wrote
book,
about it.
Outlive.
Yeah. I've read that book. That's a brilliant book.
It's a brilliant book. I agree.
It's a must read. I mean, Andrew Huberman they should listen to,
Yes.
and they should definitely read Outlive,
Yes.
as well as David Sinclair. David Sinclair, though some of his ideas are
But
controversial.
Outlive, I think everybody should read just to be able to make better decisions for themselves, just to understand the difference between what he calls medicine 2.0, which is to keep you alive longer, and medicine 3.0 is which is to keep you healthier and happier longer.
Correct. So in your report, you've written a few interesting term. You called it the habit economy. So how have you seen that change? Say an occasional habit. Once in a while I go to a gym. 2 thrice a week I go to the gym, which is the best you can expect. So how much of that has happened as per your report? And how much of the reverse is also happening where people who are going thrice a week have stopped going now?
Okay, it's a good question. So number one, let me tell you, so there's a unicorn like us called Gym Pass in the US. Now it's called WellHub. Massive, like $3 billion valuation. They published their annual report. Average check-ins in a gym for their members is 4 times a month.
That's it.
But you can also think that outdoor infrastructure exists, so maybe people are running more, cycling more. People thought that Indians don't want to get fit. Our average check-ins in a gym is 8 times a month. Okay? So data to data, Indians actually work out 2 times more than the Western people do. This could also be a function that we don't have any sports infrastructure.
We don't have hiking, cycling tracks.
So gyms and fitness studios become central to your ecosystem where physical activity needs to be fulfilled.
Correct.
Okay. Habit economy is something that we just started in January of this year.
Oh, it's a
new thing that we've coined, where we want to reward you for being consistent. So now Fitpass pays you cash, real money.
I saw your video on the ROI and
so if you keep showing up, because we understood that we needed to build behavior. Nobody was building behavior. We needed to incentivize you to build behavior. And now that real gaming doesn't exist, and people thought that the core intuition that we had was you always bet on somebody else, right? विराट कोहली छक्का मारेगा, जसप्रीत बुमराह विकेट लेगा,
or you pick a stock, HDFC double over.
Take a bet on yourself, and we will give you better returns than the financial market.
So what is that number? You keep talking about a number,
21,
right?
Because Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he had said 2 things. He had said, one was that if you make 18% returns, you're a king. If you make 21% returns, you're an emperor. And second thing he said, as he was close to his passing, was that his own health was the poorest investment he ever made.
Yeah.
Right? So this is somebody who everybody looks up to.
Right.
Disciplined, persevered, everything. But that was his final thing. Nobody ever says I didn't make enough money at the end. Right? So we said, how do we combine this two? Because agar aap bank mein paisa rakhoge, you'll make 7.5% return. So we told you, if you just work out 6 times in the first month, 7 times in the second month, 8 times in the third month, because 6 plus 7 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21. So if you do something 21 times, it starts you start changing your neural pathways and it starts becoming a habit.
Yes.
So if you only work out, we said we will give you more than FD. We will give you 7.5% return, guaranteed. If you also log your meals, then we will give you 15%. Now you're beating the stock market. Stock market average is 12%. If you do some more things like work out on a Sunday, there's some boosters, or you sleep 6 hours, we give you 18%. So now you're a king. And if you also walk 7,500 steps every day, etc., there's some more boosters, we'll make you an emperor. We'll give you 21% cash back. This money you could not have made in the markets also. And here, not only, so for the first time, we've made you the asset that earns money. So this is what we call India's habit economy, where we're trying to help you build habits. And then you gain, the country gains, we gain, everybody gains.
How has the response been? Has it
has been incredible. So now, 31st of March, we'll complete the first quarter. So people who signed up on 1st January will start seeing their money hit the account.
So they get money back?
In their account.
In their account.
You make a return. It is not notional. Nobody has ever done this.
No points.
No points.
No vouchers.
Money. No, money.
Seriously, man, this is fantastic. You just swung for the fences, huh?
Yeah. Because we thought, there's another Harvard study only for this, where they said that a lot of people think that if you buy an expensive membership, you will try and use it to recover that money.
Right.
But what that study says is that actually the day you buy, whatever discussion, debate had to happen, you do in your mind before that purchase.
Right.
The day you make that purchase, your mind treats it as sunk cost. So you never actually go recovering it.
Correct.
So they looked at some people who were paying $200 a month for their membership. And then they looked at another set who they said will give them 2.5% of their membership fee every time they show up, so which is $5. Okay. So they would pay you $5 if you showed up. After 21 days, 100% of that cohort stopped asking for money. And they stayed consistent for the next 7-8 months. But the first cohort, people dropped. They behaved like normal people, where 25% continued, 75%
Dropped.
So that study was there. Behavioral science was there. But there's nobody like us in India who cares about behavior, right? Everybody is either a gym owner or something where they care about ROI on their capex spent. We make money as Fitpass when you work out. If you don't work out, then you don't need me. Then I have no service. I can only make money if you get fitter.
Correct.
Right? So only our incentives were aligned. The gym actually doesn't want you to come. We need you to go. So we took this bet. So the response has been phenomenal. There'll be crores that will flow out now into bank accounts. So we'll start announcing what the winners were like. You know how gaming is announced these XYZ
Lottery ticket mila hai.
But it's not lottery.
This is your own effort.
This is and you just had to show up. We didn't say lose 10 kilos or go on some fat diet or do something extreme. We just said show up.
This is like a super freakonomics moment.
Yes,
it's a freakonomics moment,
yes,
actually.
It is a freakonomics moment.
Stephen Levitt and Dudley, when they did those, I suddenly feel what you're on to. And, these are all, what I like is, like you said, consistency. In my life, I like people who've taken the initiative, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But you took the initiative, and even if it doesn't work out, at least you learned something out of it, right? Rather than not taking the initiative.
No, I think there is no way this doesn't work.
This will work. We love money. All of us love money, So if you're just working out and making money. But in the past, I've seen these plans. They give you points and some, loyalty bonus or something like that. And it fizzles out.
Okay.
I don't know how you... Forget that. How are your chartered accountants dealing with it? What did they tell you?
so that problem we'll face on 31st March when the first payment has to be made, and that is the last day of the financial year.
Right.
So how they will deal with it, I don't know whether they'll call it a marketing expense or but it is cashback. So actually we also had to, after Real Gaming went through all of their things, it took me also a lot of time from our lawyers to get clearance on this.
Yeah.
Because also what we wanted to build, and we hope we build this, is genuine real money gaming around this, where I say we make a pool, an accountability pool, right? You, me, 4 or 5 friends of ours. And then we set our own challenge and we continue. Whoever wins the pot, or we split the pot, but hold yourself accountable. And there are companies like this in the West called, I think, healthywager.com, where you bet on yourself. Right? And that was the intuition that I had started with, that why I bet on Virat Kohli, whether he'll hit a 6 and you keep putting money on your real gaming things. Why not bet on yourself? So buy your membership, work out, get money back. So could we make it into a larger societal pool? And then you come to a stage where suddenly you have people who are scientifically be able to tell you that they are fitter than the rest of the population.
Right.
Then you start flipping insurance. Right now in India, health insurance is priced as per your age band.
Correct.
Okay. Incredibly wrong.
And your claims that you've done in the past.
But incredibly wrong.
Yeah.
Because a short commission retired NDA army officer or a Bharatnatyam dancer is going to be much fitter than a 27-year-old techie who is in a sedentary job.
Correct.
But they are paying a higher premium because science does not exist to explain how they are fitter and they are not, and the 27-year-old is not.
Correct. And they don't even take into account simple things like bone density scan.
So we need to build that.
Muscle mass.
So eventually where we need to go is we need to, how in vehicles, there is something called a declined risk and a preferred risk.
Right.
So if you go and tell an insurer that, okay, I want to insure a white Scorpio, they'll be very afraid. Okay, white Scorpio.
Risk is too high.
Too high. So it's called a declined risk. But you say I want to insure a school bus, it's preferred risk. They want that because it's well maintained, fitness checks, all of that is there. Similar, but in humans, we haven't come to that. we want to create India's preferred risk category. These will be the fittest people who are continually, consistently investing in themselves.
Correct.
Now, that population deserves to get as much respect, as much love as somebody who's wealthy.
Correct.
And I have this thing that, me being wealthy, maybe I have nothing to do with it. Maybe my granddad was wealthy and I was born wealthy, or I'm married wealthy. But health and being healthy is predominantly, leaving aside genetic predisposition, etc., is predominantly an outcome of my own choices.
Correct.
So healthy people should actually get more rewards, a better status than anybody carrying a metal card. So that is where we want to take this.
No, makes a lot of sense. And I wish habit economy succeeds and it becomes a big trend, because it's almost like a Freakonomics moment for me. When I was listening to you, I said, okay, you know what he's going to do? He's going to put money back to them so they will invest more here, because it is giving them something tangible now, as opposed to I'm going to live longer, which I don't know right now, but I'm getting the money in my bank right now. That I can see. So I have one last question for you. This is slightly based on your report, and it is based on something you said right now. So the other guy I read a lot is Noah Harari, and I like what he says. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's got a reason the way he describes things. So this is specific to corporate world. You said 50% of adults are inactive as per the study. So are we seeing a two-tier corporate world in India? The fit employed and the unfit rest. Are we going to see that?
I really hope. And I really hope that auditors like yourself and all these places that tell you which is an amazing place to work or a great place to work, start ranking people, corporates, on this.
Right.
And activist shareholders start investing money in more money in companies that invest in their employees, and mutual funds come up that have a score for this, and capital is allocated like that, and the government is already giving incentives, but they give more incentives to people who take care of their population.
Right.
I think that is what it should happen. Is it happening? No, I think right now corporates are a reflection of what society is at.
But abhi nahi ho raha hai. But I wanted to wear that Noah Harari look and say, okay, 10 years from now, will we see this?
You have to, right? There are all these jokes about those AI. I don't know if you saw that meme where all these AI leaders are talking about that more people are now have to go to the gyms because AI has made everybody more sedentary. They're getting more unfit.
Yeah.
So eventually, how will you differentiate? Who will be peak? Because the fitter will survive. However, and today population is in degradation.
Correct.
So either those who will take action will survive, and that will be fitter people in the society will not only be leaders, but will also be corporate leaders, will be doing better than those who have not taken care of themselves, will be stuck with costs. Medical inflation is 15% every year.
It is higher than our retail inflation.
It is just such an intuitive outcome. So those who've kept fitter employees will do better. Those families that have fitter family members will be more better off, will have more experiences, will live more.
Excellent. You know what I'm before we go, I was just reminded of a joke. What happened is one of our, I won't name my company, but we went to a conference, internal, the usual, you get everybody together.
Yeah.
And there was so much talk about health, workout, fitness, this, that, etc. And the whole day went on like that. And next day morning, we were in Jaipur that time. So I woke up in the morning and the first thing I did was I headed to the gym. I said, boss, आज तो बड़ी भीड़ हो गई है क्योंकि कल से ना बात कर लिया लोगों ने. And there were 5 people in the gym, and it stayed that way for a very long time. And everybody came, talked, and went back to their life. I half expected to see all the leaders who took the stage and talked, them in the gym and keeping a visual count. Oh, who else?
Culture comes from the top. So it really has to be the leaders who set the tone for organizations.
Correct.
They have to walk the talk, and they really have to understand science and what it means, and then put it into practice. So either we need to have one of those board seats where independent auditor hota hai, एक कोई wellness health advisor होना चाहिए.
होना तो चाहिए. See, there was this company called 8 now.
They had the huge company.
The huge insurance company. They had introduced a policy that they had focused on sleep. So anybody who consistently sleep 8 hours or 6. It was some
Yes.
number like that, and which will be tracked by a sleep tracker, which they have to sync to the company thing. Then they would get some additional bonus because the CEO firmly believed that sleep will reduce absenteeism, improve productivity, all the things you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
you look at
Of
workout,
course.
nutrition, and sleep, they are the three
Yeah.
pillars. And they ran it for a couple of years. Inconclusive. Why they abandoned it? They don't talk about it anymore.
Okay.
So some organizations have taken that, taken that. This is a very famous case study, 8 now 1. But somehow, I think there is another problem in India that we don't take a long-term view. We don't take a 20-year horizon. Everything's knee-jerk. Like if I told you if the petrol prices go up
Yeah.
today, tomorrow there'll be a line outside MG, all the
EVs.
EV makers, right? Without thinking through.
Mm.
So I think somewhere as you go along this journey, my recommendation to you, I mean, what you're doing is quite a lot, and
Thank you.
and you're doing all this. That itself is phenomenal. But I think somewhere, I think organizations, and I'll do my part, they should take a longer view.
Yes.
See, if I can keep a guy with me for 20 years,
Yes.
it's cheaper, it's better, he's healthier, he's loyal,
Yeah.
and he stays fit.
Yeah,
nothing like
100%.
it.
And I think that's what I was trying to say, that with assets, we take a longer view, but because the employees are a cost, we take these year-long views.
I think Dipender he put out something like that for Temple.
Yeah.
And it was very controversial, right?
Yeah.
But I completely agreed with him.
Yeah, even so did I. Like, I don't think BM or whatever body fat percentage is the only metric, but I think what you're looking for in today's world are people who can be consistent, who can push through barriers. So if you have 16% body fat, that means you have been consistent.
Correct.
You have chosen to invest in yourself. You have made some tough decisions.
Correct.
Right? And that is a quality that, one, I also think it's more inclusive. I think less people go to tier 1 MBA. So
Correct.
if he had said tier 1 MBA, tier 1 engineering, people wouldn't have complained.
Correct.
But more people may have 16% body fat versus the number of people who went to tier 1 MBA. So this is a more inclusive way of hiring.
Correct.
And I definitely a healthier way of promoting this.
Correct. No, he made a lot of controversy, but I kind of agree with him. But Akshay, it was great talking to you.
My pleasure.
And I wish you all the success. I will
Thank
be
you.
very keen to see how this
Yes, we will keep
habit
you updated.
economy comes up.
Maybe you
And-
can invite me again when it does well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you're here for some meetings. I wish they go well and
Thank you.
Bangalore treats you well.
No, thank you very much.
We may not be top of your list. I was half expecting this episode to be about Bangalore being the most consistent.
Bangalore is amazing. Like I said, like it's top for yoga, top for women participation. It's top for many things. But overall, I think the growth story for India is really Bharat, and the aspiration to be fit, compete. That gusto is beyond tier 1.
Excellent. So thanks a lot, and have a great trip back. Safe travels, and take care.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.